I used to get whippings in elementary school, and there's a teacher named Miss Hill. I'm gonna say your name, Miss Hill. Man, my auntie S used to work at the school, and I was unruly. But what she would do was, when things would pop off, he gonna kill me. Help, please.
Ah! Okay. Greetings and salutations to you all. 'Tis I, just Henry, the original, the one, the only, the always ready to smile and share my day with you. And this is the good cousin.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's my name.
Hashtag.
All jokes aside, is Wizard Wise on the Flesh, good people. Hope y'all feeling magnificent out there. Without further ado, let's get to it.
Let's do it, Mike. Well, let me not go there yet. First off, we got we want to share a little video with you guys. So bear with us down this yellow brick road.
Sharing is caring.
And we'll discuss it on the other side, all right? Maestro!
Did it say that in the bill?
Yeah, it quite literally says it on the first page.
It literally doesn't.
No, it quite literally does not say that on the first page.
Thank you.
But you had it right there for us to see, so we could all see that it quite literally did not say that. I'm not a teacher, but if a little kid came up to me and was like, "What does gay mean?" I'd be like, "Wow, you're really curious about what gay means. You should ask your mom about that."
Yeah.
And then I would just move on with my life.
Who'da
Because I'm
thought?
not a psychopath. I'm not going to sit and have a sex ed conversation with some little kid that isn't even mine.
Thank you.
And I know you're probably like, well, what do you know about child development and human sexuality? You guys, I only have a bachelor's in psychology with an emphasis in evolutionary psychology and a master's in clinical mental health counseling. So it's like, I don't know that much. But if I'm speaking as a therapist, if a child in that age range brought up sexuality to me, I'd probably be doing a very thorough risk assessment. Because that's not typical. It's atypical. It can be a sign of abuse. Y'all are so creepy.
Are you applauding?
Don't even think about going solar until you...
Come on, bro.
Don't even think about going there. Don't even think about it. All right. So I would really want to hear you guys' opinion on what we just went over. First things first, I applaud this young lady, especially for the latent, she held back her trump card at the end with this whole, well spelled out education that she now has that actually specifically makes, shows that she's qualified to speak on this subject. Subject being, a child comes to a teacher in school to discuss sexuality, whether it be their own or anyone else's. This is, I do believe, something more along maybe the counselor in the school you should kind of pass the buck there before you take it on yourself. Preferably pass the buck to the parent, a parent such as myself, who is vested completely in the education process of their children. That's where I believe that it's this for the not I wouldn't even say that they have the what's the thing called
Responsibility?
No, like they're, I keep messing up this word where they're owed
entitlement.
Okay. They're not entitled to some degree of. I like that. But it brought you to the point, though. It got you where you wanted. I needed you to be.
I like that.
But teachers are not entitled with that albeit power to just make these grand decisions in school. So I believe that there is a line, and I believe that a parent should be at least reached out to first. Now, if the parent is belligerent and just like, man, F out of here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, counselor, principal, psychiatrist, somebody needs
social services, yeah.
Especially for the sheer fact that is such an outstanding point that she mentioned that is atypical, meaning it is abnormal. This is not something that a child should be talking about.
Do you know if the video was in response to the uproar about Governor DeSantis in this bill?
I believe so, because that's actually what the whole talk is this day right now. We're gonna be doing more discussions about it.
For sure.
It definitely is stemming from that, because it's bringing to light a conversation that needs to be had, mainly because parents are not vested enough in their children's like what's going on in the school. It's more like a
Send 'em off.
like a blind quarterback pitch to the running back. Like it's almost like the quarterback's looking at the defense and just throws the ball and assumes that the running back's where they're supposed to be, and to just take it and run with it.
I
right?
like that allegory.
I don't like that.
I like that. And then I was
I'm right there, buddy. My hands are dirty with matter of fact, more so than anybody. That's my job. My job is to allow you as the teacher to understand that you are in a supplemental position. I'm taking the reins to make sure that these children stay on point. So please don't. I've had teachers hide my children's behavior from me.
Why?
To stack up. It was like if I felt as though they were stacking the deck against my child, and then they were going to try and use me to bring down some almighty hammer down, like I was that end all be all, you know?
Yeah, man.
And I don't like that.
Yeah,
because I don't want you to use me as the bad guy. I want you to use me as their father. Yeah. And I'm there from the beginning to the end. I'm trying to prevent the sequence of events to lead to this big event. No, but that's just me.
I used to get whippings in elementary school, and as a teacher named Miss Hill. I'm gonna say your name, Miss Hill. Man, my auntie S used to work at the school, and I was unruly, but what she would do was, when things would pop off, he gonna kill me. Help, please.
Okay, we're good.
She would stockpile all the bad things about me, and she just slid to Auntie Essie, and man, I get whoopings. I hated this woman. Now, I was stupid enough to it. That didn't do anything. But in the long term, people, like a lot of kids started laughing because they knew when Auntie Essie came out, I was almost in trouble. And I love my Auntie Essie to death. But that stockpiling is real, and I can't stand it. That
yes, man. But it's ridiculous, man. Like, because honestly, the dynamic is set up wrong, and it's one, unfair to teachers, because teachers are expected to be everything parents are not. So no, that's not their job. Their job is to show the information. The child is supposed to be well raised, well behaved enough to be able to receive this information. Bring it home. Parents, sit down with them, work them through it. Teachers aren't supposed to do the whole everything. Now that's great, because that was kind of like when I saw that video. I love the video, by the way. When I saw the video, I was like, like I said, I went to college with people aspiring to be teachers, and they were almost in the same program as me, except for I was just about to study, and then they were about to study to educate folks. Right.
So you see this constant battle of like, all right, we're supposed to be parents versus we're not supposed to be. And some of their motivations for being a teacher was because maybe that child didn't have a parent at home. So when
it's all right, he's loved.
So maybe that child didn't have a parent at home, so that's like, all right, we fill the roles. But the issue comes into play, right, is what she said. That's not normal. A baby, in comparison to the Ron DeSantis bill, assuming she's I think that's like what, kindergarten or third grade, right?
Yeah.
There's no way in that age that child should be concerned about knowing about sex or sexual identity.
It should not be a concern, not even in high school, because sex ed is one thing, but at the same time, we shouldn't be talking about this is the biology behind it. Birth of a child, diseases. Okay, let's leave it to that. And this has to be, I feel, should be signed off by the parent at home too, to be able to have that child in that class ahead of time, so that they know what the curriculum is. Go.
We go chop. That's Henry to the high school part. The high school is different. Middle school is different. Here's why. Here's why. And it could be flawed, and because I was one of those children who was introduced to sex within the first and second grade. And I'm speaking for first, and that's not healthy.
Yes.
I realized this later in life. This is not a healthy perspective where I'm sitting there viewing that.
Right.
And then you see out of all the folks you talk to, that's not something that's going on in their home. And then you click with the few of them, and emphasis on the word the few of your like peers who actually had those experiences themselves. I didn't come from the best of parenting, right? If my daughter's in your classroom and you're trying to tell her about sex, we have smoke. That's my biggest thing about sending my baby to daycare now. because she can't communicate. So if y'all doing something that I don't agree with, how am I supposed to know? There's no way a child should be learning about sex as a kindergarten, third grade. They just run around building blocks and playing with sticks, bro. Being imaginative. They should not have to feel the constraint of society. That's what makes them a child and not an adult. So 100% agree with the young woman here talking about that's not good. That's psychotic to me. And if the video is in response to, as in Ron DeSantis is responding to the surplus of people talking about the surplus of teachers coming out talking about teaching their children about their students about gender identity and sex as like kindergarten to third grade, they should be banned. That is detrimental to the community. That is detrimental to the child psychology, as this psychologist pointed out. That's all I got.
In closing, I feel it's as though it's bringing a level of confusion in a place that we're supposed to be giving clarity to children. There should be what the curriculum says. You teach, that's where you stay. That's your safe zone.
Yes,
you ever seen hits? That's you stay right there, and you good. But anything outside of that is outlandish, and I feel as though you should be reprimanded in some way. I don't believe that you should just outright lose your job, but I feel as though someone that is in charge should tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. Do it again, we're gonna write you up. Do it again, we can put you up to possible termination. Do it again, if we cape you, you're definitely getting fired. Just like an office, just like bureaucratic environment, like an office. I just said it. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. You got any closing thoughts on that, sir?
No, sir. I like it. It was good. I love the Paul Blart. Is that? I don't know if that's his real name. I don't think that's his real name, but that's what I would call him.
In the movie.
Yeah, it is in the movie. Yeah. So like, No. The Hitch reference where he's in the Hitch and then he's going to decide to do the hair and then he starts trying to do the complicated stuff. Like, stop.
Throw it away. That was my flavor.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else. We need to be not the sprinkler. We need to be more on our children's life, and that's not something children should be knowing about.
Straight up.
They should not be thinking 2 seconds about running up to you and asking what gay means.
Straight
that
up.
means they're watching something or they're hearing something that they're not supposed to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody put the parental controls on that YouTube,
Big
on
facts.
that tablet that you using as a babysitter.
On your mouth.
Put the restrictions there.
couldn't
Matter of
even
fact,
be in
yes,
the
you
same
as
room.
adults too.
Yeah.
For what you're talking about, you don't even realize that your child is right there.
Yeah.
They're attached to your hip.
Yeah.
They are looking at you like, if it's a young girl looking at a woman like, yo, that's my mama. That's the example. Young boy, that's your father. Or whoever that the mom puts there, that's the dude. So if the mom's choosing a piece of, a crap bag, I was going to say the S-H-I-T.
You good.
I was about to. But we got, that's what the example the boy sees.
Yeah, we couldn't even be in the same room when I was growing up with the adults when they were talking. Where we got popped in the mouth.
That's old school. But people, that's another video, and I hope you all tune in for those. See how I did that? I hope I draw y'all in, because this is the umpteenth view, where we always leave y'all hanging for more, but yet you've learned something to progress amidst it all.
Oh,